Hey there, Ken here. Um, just going to get to a job. This here is the long-awaited drum seal I received this morning. This was a saga, as you probably, if you've been looking at previous videos, it's about 6 weeks ago. I got some advice and came to the conclusion that my debris in the drum and my water quality was the drum seal. And I tried to get onto DBS, the source one, and they were just about to go on holidays and we're at a show in the Netherlands, and so I waited about 4 weeks before I could actually order it, and then they shipped it on last, I think, Wednesday week, and the courier seemed to use it. You'd expect, and I know from experience, something from mainland Europe to Dublin, 2 to 3 days max by courier. It's taken about 10 days, but anyway, important thing is it is actually here. So it's a bit different. I'm going to whip the other one out and we'll compare them now in a second, but it is silicone. I was expecting it to be more, if you look at this, sort of, where's my camera, clearer on one side. I didn't know whether it went clear from the UV or went white. That's obviously very brittle. You can also see there's a little lip there. Now I thought it might have had a little lip to fit into the gap, which I'll show you in a few minutes, on the drum, or even holes for the screws to go over, but it's just a slab or a strip of silicone. So what I'll do is I'll cut and I will drain the pond and get in here and start. You can see the blue there, that's the old seal, and we get that out and it just fits in. You can see that there's a little gap there, sort of cut into the drum itself, and that's a slit that the seal fits into. So I'm going to get that out. As I mentioned before, there's 4 screws. There's one up here which you can just get to, and 2 others down at the bottom. You can see the 2 others there, probably not very well in focus, and there's another one I can feel just up here, but it is at an angle that I can just about get a screwdriver out. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to bore you with all the me cursing and scraping my knuckles, and what I'll do is I'll drain down the filter, get that out, and then we'll have a compare of what both of them. I wonder if I'll even get this out in one piece, because you can see down there, just about, again, the focus probably isn't great. You can see there, there's a big hole in it, so it could come into 2 pieces, and it's also very brittle, as you've seen down there. So let me get that out and I'll snap back to you in a couple of minutes. Right, as you can see, it's out and my back is not the better of it. Jesus Christ, that's all I can say. So this is the new one. Thankfully they're the same, and the old, you can see there, it was down the bottom, and as I said, that was right under or over the UV, so in comparison it's reasonably brittle here, you know, to the point where it's breaking into pieces, nearly solid there, and gets more reasonably brittle, and obviously from the FMG treatment as well, it's blue. So the 2 things that don't help silicone seals are FMG and UV lights. So mentioned before, the UV lights now over here rather than down under here as it was in that before I put the trickle in, and then I had it moved into the center of the drum, and again doing my I'll just drop it in there to the fishy buckets. So now I have the job of, it took me long screwdriver to get the 2 out up here. This one over here at the very top was okay. This one was at an odd angle and was coming out directly into the side of this, but I could get this trusty long little screwdriver that I bought. I bought a set of them for practically nothing, and they come in very useful. They're the screws, so they're just self tappers. So now I have the job of getting this back in. You can see the slit there that it goes into. Sorry, you can't see it there. So there's a machine slit in the wall of the drum, that it goes into, and it's not in very good focus there, but you can see it. Do I need to clean it out? Trying to see now. No, it's okay, as you'd expect. There's bits of leaves there, there's loads of crap in the bottom, so I'm going to put this in, put the screws in, curse some more, wreck my back. You're really lucky I'm doing this off camera now. It took me about half an hour to get that out. It wasn't, I suppose, too bad. And I thought I'd all the screws out and I didn't. How many? I thought there was 6, there's 8 screws. And originally I think when we looked at it I thought there was 4. I couldn't really see them, but there is. But with a combination of this and my long run, I can get at them all. Right, so back to it, and hopefully this solves my problem. Let's see how easy this can be squeezed in. I have a bit of silicone grease if the worst comes to the worstest, but hopefully I won't need it and it just slots back in. But I'm hoping it'll be another half an hour or less before I'm back to you, but my back is going to be sore tomorrow, I can assure you. It's not great at the best of times, and the bending over, and it's, you know, as I said before, it's the position of my drum. If I was able to get in here, it would probably make it a lot easier, but I'm doing it from one side, which makes it more difficult. But we're getting there. You can see leaves that were, sticking out of the seal and so forth. Anyway, right, I'm going to get back to it. Cheers. Right, not good, unfortunately. Trying to get the seal in situ with the drum, I've come to the conclusion, is impossible. Now again, it may be down to the fact that I can't position myself around the drum, but with the seal angled in under the drum, trying to get it in to the gap, which is obviously very tight, is, I've deemed, impossible, to be honest. I did try silicone grease and just feeding it around, but it gets so far and then the seal is just too flexible and it just scrunches up. I can't push it anymore. I think the only way I'm going to do this, guys, is take the drum out, and I'll try and see can I manoeuvre it by undoing this bolt here and getting it off the drive shaft, and see, does that give me enough space? I doubt it. I think the waste gully has to come out, and that's all that's sealant around it, and that's risking a leak. You know, I'm going to have to leave that for a few hours before I fill the drum to make sure it seals. This is a pain in the arse, it really is. I just can't see, guys. I've been trying for the last near half an hour now. I can't see how I can get that seal in. I've got the 2 starts on it there, but as I get further down, I need to position it and have 2 hands where I can work at it clearly. And with the waste gully in the way and the drum in the way, it is just not possible. So I think the way this is done is the drum is taken out of situ, is put in, and then the drum is pushed back in, and you can see just 2 rollers. So the drum, I think that the shaft just goes in that far, and then the drum sits on 2 rollers here. So I doubt very much. I can't see how far the waste gully goes up, but I'm sure it, you know, it goes up to here. So there's no way I'm going to get the drum out around it. It's going to have to come out. Somebody will probably tell me afterwards, oh no, you should have been able to get it in, but I really can't. And I've done plenty of jobs on cars. I'm really reasonably handy, and I can't figure out, especially at the angle you can see that is at, how I get that in. You know, you have to start one side, and you really need to be, you know, have it out here at the proper angle where you feed it in, and then the drum goes in around it, only way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to undo the drum first. That looks like a hex bolt, and slide it off the shaft and see does that give me anything. I pretty much doubt it. Take the screen off, might help a bit, might try that, but again I wonder is it easier just to take the bloody yoke out. You know, I still have this thing in the way when I'm trying to work around it. If I had the screen off, it might make it easier, because then I'll be able to get from this side on the lip of the seal. You know, I've got my hand, I'm working from here, and it's just not working. Although I can't, you see there's bars in here. Even if I take that off, sorry, those bars there, you see, they're part of the drum structure, they're not part of the seal, or the sieve. Right, I'll be back to you in a minute when I figure this out, but the first thing is to loosen that bolt down there and see where it gets me. These look like Torx. Alright, talk to you shortly. Right, good news is I did manage to get it in, and you can see the waste gully and the drum are still in place, so it worked well. What happened was, when I undid this bolt here, that's the drive shaft, it allowed me to slip the drum back that half an inch. That half an inch gave me enough room and enough straighten the seal enough that I could get pressure on it and push it in. It was at an angle. Before that, obviously the drum, you can see the way it bends in towards the inside of the drum. But anyway, it's working. Well, it's not working, I think it will work. I have 2 screws I missed. Shite. One there, I don't know where the other one is, it's around somewhere, buried there. I need to get them in, and I think I have 2 screws missing anyway, or maybe it's just one. I gave the media store. I was gonna do a clean out of my bottom drains on my usual vac, but to be honest, I'm absolutely knackered after that, and I am going to finish this and take a break, so it shouldn't take me too long to get everything back together. Yeah, that's it. As I say, tough enough job to do. Hopefully I have the UV packed away there, away from it enough that there's no direct light getting at it, and this one should last a bit longer than the last one. Alright, talk to you shortly. Cheers. Right, the drum is, but the only thing is I'm seeing that there's a gap there. The seal is in place fully. It's screwed in and it's in as far as the top bit. I don't know. That is annoying. The other side is fine. Is it in enough? I'm just trying to see. Oh, it seems to be the same. Maybe it's sticking out a tiny bit. That shouldn't really make that much of a difference. I got it in as much as I could. Anyway, listen guys, I've had it for today. I'll keep an eye on that and see how it goes, but it's a bit disappointing. I was expecting that to be solid there. As I say, I got it in as far as I could. Might have another look and see. Alright, any comments, let me know, but all the best.